Hello and welcome to another scenario. Today we're gonna do something a little bit different, but at least in my opinion, very fun. We're going to try to reenact a historic battle in a way. And I'm of course talking about the legendary Battle of the Tsushima Strait, or Battle of Tsushima. So what was the Battle of Tsushima? If you haven't heard about it, it's essentially the naval battle between the Japanese Navy or Japanese Imperial Navy, that is, and the Russian Baltic Fleet. If we just go to Google Maps for a moment, we'll be able to illustrate how much sense all of this makes, because the Strait of Tsushima is over here between Japan and Korea, and the Baltic Sea, where the Baltic Fleet is situated, is it's over here. So this is a little bit weird. And I mean, all of this basically takes place at the beginning of the 20th century. It's part of the Russo-Japanese War, and essentially the idea was that the Baltic Fleet was supposed to reinforce the Russian Pacific Fleet, and so they made a pretty illustrious voyage, basically all around the globe, and to actually make their way into the Pacific, or the East China Sea, and then they were basically immediately annihilated by the Japanese fleet at the time. And yeah, it's actually like a pretty big deal in like military history. Like a couple of new technologies saw their first use, and so on and so forth. Really interesting. Just in case you want to read or see more about it, I can recommend the Wikipedia page, and also maybe link some videos in the description. But yeah, so the premise of this scenario is essentially what would happen if we try to do it in modern times. Like, how far could the Russian Baltic Fleet get into in Japanese waters, and would it actually be able to make its way into the Sea of Japan. And also it's like a pretty good opportunity to take a closer look at the Baltic Fleet of the Russian Navy. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're gonna use this little build scenario as an overview, and I have put down all the vessels that we're gonna use during the scenario over here in the Baltic Fleet, with little buoys to tell us what they are. So as you can see here, it's not like the Baltic Fleet isn't exactly large, and at least when it comes to vessels that are large enough to actually like go halfway around the world. These are the ones that I included. You will see here there are also some corvettes in here, but they are fairly new and were made to be more like sturdy and blue water capable, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. So the flagship is the Neustrashnimy, like a Sovremenny class guided missile destroyer. It was commissioned in 1992, like the class was first commissioned in 1992, so it's like about 3 decades old by now, about 8,000 tons. That's like the lower end, for example, that a Kalibr would have. So fairly big ship, but it only goes like smaller from here. The second one is the Neustrashnimy class, first commissioned 1993, also 3 decades old, and considerably smaller with 4.3 thousand tons. And we'll have the Neustrashnimy and the Yaroslav Mudry. Yes, and yeah, that's them. Okay, let's move on. We'll look at the armaments in detail in a moment. And now we're already at like the corvette level, and like the slightly bigger ones are the Steregushchiy class, which is, in this case, fairly new, first commissioned 2007, and they're like half as big as the frigates over here, like 2.2 thousand tons, and they have 4 of them. Most of them will be impersonated by the MPK Sovremenny, but yeah, it's the. To take a quick look at it, it's the Steregushchiy, the Sovremenny, the Boyki, and the Stoyki. Yep, that's them. And then there is like quite a sizable, like the Baltic Fleet has quite a few different kinds of corvettes and smaller patrol vessels. For example, they also have like bouillons, as you can see here, but most of them are very small and really only meant for like littoral operations. This is kind of the same with the Karakurt class, with just under 1,000 tons, but they're very new, and also they are designed to also be somewhat blue water capable. So we will just assume that they join the Baltic Fleet on its travels to Japan, and so we'll have 3 of them with us. And these are particularly notable because they have Sizzler anti-ship missiles, and they are very, very new. 2018 was the first commissioned. So as you can see here, 1 destroyer, 2 frigates, and a bunch of corvettes. And the bigger ships are very old. The smaller ships are quite a bit newer. So that's the general setup. So let's see what kind of armament we have. So coming over here to the PowerPoint really quick. So I've divided the missile systems in 3 different categories. That is air defense, anti-ship, and anti-submarine. And we'll just go through them one after the other. First of all, the air defense missiles. So first up, the biggest ship in the fleet and flagship is the Sovremenny destroyer, and it has 42 SAN-7 Gatfly missiles, and that's basically a book. So you can think of this thing as like a floating book system. Then you have the 2 Neustrashnimys. They have SAN-6 gauntlets, which is basically Tor, and then they also have a whole bunch of SAN-11A Grissoms. These are basically Tunguska missiles, and they have the twin Gatling gun to go with that too. So yeah, but Tunguska is kind of an older system. Tor is a fairly capable system, so not bad to have that on board. And this is of course like the numbers of missiles added up for both of them. So half of them will be on the first Neustrashnimy, and the other one will be on the I think Yaroslav Mudry, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so that's how it works. Then we have the 4 corvettes, like the older corvettes, the Steregushchiy. So they too will have in total 32 Grissom missiles, again the Tunguska thing, and then 3 of them will have the more modern SAN-21 Sea Growlers. So they seem to be related to the like land-based S-400 system, and but their range is considerably smaller, just like 25 nautical miles range. But they are very modern missiles. So yeah. And then we have the Karakurt. 2 of them don't have any air defense at all. Just one of them has like a SAN-22 Greyhound, which is basically a Panzer. So one of the Karakurts is essentially a floating Panzer system, which is a very capable system, of course. So it's good to have them on board. 334 interceptors in total. But we have to note that literally everything here is very close range. So I think we can check again once we're back in the actual mission, but I think we cannot engage any air contacts that are further out than 40 nautical miles or something. So none of the we really don't have any of the like signature Russian very long-range air defense systems with us for this one. So second, the anti-ship missiles. So starting again, largest to smallest, we have the Sovremenny with 8 SSN-22M Sunburn. This is one of like the really old school, super large, heavy anti-ship missiles that also are supersonic. So this thing basically goes faster. I think it goes up to like Mach 2.5 or something for the entirety of its flight. So yeah, and 130 nautical miles range, not too bad. So these are pretty, like, we don't have a lot of them, but they are fairly dangerous. Probably not too difficult to shoot down though, just because of their gigantic size. Then we have the two Neustrashnimys. Taken together, they have 16 SSN 25 Switchblades, which is essentially a harpoon, like, more or less. Then we have the 4 Steregushchiys. In total, 32 SSN 25 Switchblades, again, about 80 nautical miles, subsonic. It is more or less, you can think of them like harpoons, essentially. So we have quite a lot of these, but they're also very easy to defeat. And maybe we'll take a quick look at the Japanese. The Japanese, of course, have like, or use a lot of like the US weapon systems, including ESSMs and stuff like that. So they have very capable air defense systems. And yeah, and then of course we have the 3 Karakurts, and this is like probably the reason why I really wanted to have them in there, because they are really our ability to take something out in this scenario, because they have in total 24 SSN 27 Sizzlers, 200 nautical miles range with the supersonic penetrator. This works the same like a YJ-18. So these are really, really dangerous anti-ship missiles. And we have 79 anti-ship missiles in total in this case. And just really quickly, the anti-submarine stuff. Unfortunately, I'm not an expert in anti-submarine warfare, and it's actually, I guess not a lot of people are. But just in general, I mean, the Baltic Fleet is a pretty sub-infested place, and as you can probably imagine, the Baltic Fleet is set up in a way so that it can, or like has some survivability up there. The Japanese don't have any nuclear-powered submarines, but they have a lot of conventional submarines, and yeah, nowadays it's always like a little bit, people kind of tend to look down on the conventional diesel submarines, and yeah, they have a lot of limitations, but in the end, even if they can't like carry dozens of cruise missiles, get them close enough to any surface fleet, and yeah, that fleet is pretty much dead. In our case, a lot of our ships will have some torpedoes with like, as you would imagine, just like 4 nautical miles range. This is not like, if we get that close, we're dead. We have some helicopters. They will mostly be used for detection. They can also carry torpedoes. The one thing that I will use to defend myself from submarines is the SSN-15 Starfish missiles, which is like a missile-launched torpedo, essentially. It has like a 22 nautical miles range. So the idea is if we get subsurface, like an underwater contact, we will shoot these things at them, and they have to do the job, and they are very good at what they do. They'll basically just shoot a missile with a torpedo on top. Torpedo will detach and hit the water roughly in the area where we think the sub is, and it will just go in circles until it finds something with its sonar and then go after it. And a single hit with a torpedo, of course, will take out the submarine. Okay. Goals for the Baltic Fleet today is, so we'll have 3 days to get to the Tsushima Strait and do our stuff. We will start at 6 a.m. Monday, so basically start of the work week. And yeah, the scenario will end 6 a.m. on Thursday. So we want to reach the Tsushima Strait, optimally go past it, and we take as many Japanese Maritime Self-Defense ships with us as we can. So just to give you like a very brief overview of the Japanese Navy, this is the assembly for, or like my little fleet assembler for the Japanese Navy. And so if we just zoom into the destroyers here, you can see that they have like this first row, which is basically Aegis destroyers. They are very like ballistic missile defense heavy. All of them have SM3s and stuff. They are big, like usually like 10,000 tons or just below that. But there's not that many of them. Most of the destroyers that they have are smaller and not Aegis, but still have ESSMs and stuff, and anti-ship missiles, and so on and so forth. And yeah, so you get Aegis ships from 1993 to 2020. The same with the less, like the non-Aegis guided missile destroyers from 1988 to 2018. The Asahi and the Shiranui. And yeah, then there's a couple of like really old ones that are very small and are not really guided missile destroyers, but they have harpoons, which could come in handy. Yeah. Okay, let's switch over to the actual scenario. Okay, so this is what Japan looks like in the scenario. First of all, the fleets that we have. So Japan has divided its navy roughly into 5 different districts: Sasebo, Kure, Yokosuka, Ominato, and Maizuru. And all their fleets are basically attached to one of these bases. And today we'll have ships from the Maizuru, the Sasebo, and the Kure district, and they will be assembled in their way their order of battle usually looks like. Of course, in the real world, not all of these ships would be available all the time. Then again, you could theoretically replace them with some from other districts. But yeah, Baltic Fleet is also like at full strength, despite like their Sovremenny cruiser, for example, being under repair right now. So we're just not going to consider that factor right now. We just slap everything on. Okay, let's see. First of all, we have the Escort Squadron 8, with 3 destroyers, one of the Aegis destroyers. You can always like recognize them because they are usually like from 170 to like mid 180s or something. And then you have 2 smaller ones. You can see they are like usually 100 to 150 or something. That will be the Escort Squadron 8. Then let's see, Escort Squadron 2 with the light carrier, or like the helicopter destroyer Ise, which is a Hyuga class. It will have only 5 helicopters, which is essentially its normal loadout. We can't really make use of the Merlins right now, but the 3 Seahawks will be armed with Hellfires. So will every other Seahawk that's on the destroyer, by the way. Yeah, 1 ballistic missile defense destroyer, 2 smaller destroyers, all of them guided missile and air defense. Then we have the Escort Squadron 4 over here, with the helicopter destroyer Kaga, which is the same, like it's an Izumo class carrier. It has 7 Seahawks in total, armed with Hellfires again. And then we have 3 of the non-Aegis destroyers going with it. Then we have a really small one here, 13th Escort Squadron, with just 2 destroyers, one of the really old ones, the Jinsu, DE-230, and one of the more modern non-Aegis destroyers over here. They will make up the 13th Escort Squadron. And then we have Escort Squadron 3 over here, with the actual Hyuga of the Hyuga class. Again, same helicopter loadout, and 2 guided, 2 Aegis destroyers, ballistic missile defense loadout, and 1 of the smaller guided missile destroyers over here. And yeah, then we have a whole bunch of submarines scattered across the whole area. They will they will just patrol these general areas here, and yeah, everything is networked, so as soon as they get a surface contact, they will immediately try to attack it. Submarines, of course, are very very slow, so whether or not they can get in range will very much depend on what course they choose when they start out. But yeah, in general, like, all of this should work perfectly automated, and yeah, we're actually going to be playing the game as intended, so I won't have access to God mode, and I'm not going to interfere with what the Japanese do in this scenario. Just a quick look at the naval bases. The Japanese have the P3C Orion, and in this case they'll use it as a strike aircraft with ASM-1C. This is like the Type 91 anti-ship missile, very similar to a Harpoon. And then they'll also have their indigenous P1. These, unfortunately, they are still causing bugs with the current mission setup that I have, but I couldn't really resolve that quickly enough. They will have a habit of suiciding themselves after shooting their missiles, which is fine. I don't want to be bugged by planes all the time. The P3s will return to base, reload, and then attack again. Yeah, so we have these at Kanoya Air Base and at Atsugi Air Base over here. These will have P1s. And then we have reconnaissance out of Iwakuni with the EP3 and the OP3C. And yes, they will be on various routes throughout the littoral zones. So they won't be circling at any places normally. They will have like bigger patrol zones so that we have a chance to theoretically slip through. But yes, once we get anywhere close to here, our chances of getting picked up or get pretty high. And as soon as we are found out as a surface contact, then everything will try to attack us. One compromise that I had to make is with these two F8 to F2As, which are not something that the Japanese Maritime Self-Defense-Force has. This is the Air Force, essentially. But I need them to investigate air contacts. So once any of our helicopters gets picked up as a contact, then one of these will take off, investigate the contact. If it finds something, it will fire like a single missile and then go home. The idea of this is if our helicopters get picked up, then the F2 will essentially find the surface fleet with its radar or by overflying it, and at that point we will aggro the entire Japanese Navy. So yeah, we have to be careful not to fly too high. Yeah, but I think that's basically it. Time to give this a try and see how it will turn out. Okay, here we are in the actual game. No editor or anything, so I have no idea what's going on. Time to start. So, a couple of things that I think I didn't mention. First of all, the weather. Yeah, so it's like 6 a.m. day 1. We have 3 days to go. It is light clouds, 10 to 16,000 feet. No rain, 30 degrees. Wind and sea state 1. So that means we should be able to hear submarines if that becomes if we have to. We'll have to slow down for that. Let's see, let them arrange themselves in the right formation. So basically we have the big destroyer in the middle, and then as it gets smaller we spread them out around the destroyer, and we have the Karakurts and a screen in front. Is that realistic? I have no idea. When it comes to helicopters, all of them are currently parked. A lot of them are fit out for anti-submarine stuff. We're not going to launch them immediately because I don't want to generate any contacts for the Japanese. Also, this I didn't mention beforehand, we have a couple of Orlans. Each of them we can launch exactly once. just have to be really careful for them to not be picked up by radar, because there's a lot of radars over here. If we launch anything, then we'll get picked up pretty quickly, so we have to stay very low. Also, the anti-submarine screen we will extend a little bit, but we're not going to go scanning for submarines just yet. I mean, I've made the scenario, I know where they are. I'm pretty sure we can get up to this point without encountering any. That is about 200 nautical miles, and our top speed is like 20 knots at full, and that means we need about 10 hours for that. So I'm pretty sure we can just fast forward more or less to 1600 hours and see where that puts us on the map. And yeah, so I'll just fast forward, and we'll check back in either in 10 hours or if anything happens. So let's put those to full speed. They'll accelerate to 20 knots, and off to full speed, and see you in 10 hours. Okay, it is now 2:30 p.m. and we've picked up a contact. So it's like some kind of aircraft, and it is probably one of the surveillance aircrafts. It's still quite a bit out, like 200 nautical miles. We probably have a pretty good chance that it will not be able to detect us unless it comes any closer. So we'll just have to keep looking. So should we maybe slow down a little bit? Doesn't matter, I guess. So one general thing that I didn't mention is that there's still like a little bit of a bug with the naval strike missions for all the P1s and Orion aircraft. So once they launch, I'll get an error message. It will not affect the mission themselves, mission itself. So they will still attack me, but I will know that I've been picked up. So since we haven't gotten any error messages, for now we are undetected. So we will just have to see, like we'll speed it up a little bit and see if something happens. So it's still here. See, getting closer. Unfortunately, we have no idea about the direction. You can just see its radar essentially, but it's still pointing the radar at us. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to see it. Yeah, not much we can do about this. We'll just have to hope that we stay hidden. There it is. So now we can actually see that it is an OP3C Orion, one of the surveillance aircraft, and it is somewhere between 130 and 150 nautical miles. Oh well, let's see if we can stay undetected. If he picks us up, then this is like will be a really short run for us. We're still 400 nautical miles out from the actual point that we want to get to, which is where the Battle of the Tsushima Strait took place in 1905. Okay, let's speed it up a little bit. Please don't find us. Please don't find us. Just turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Yes, he turned around. So yeah, we're not getting any contacts anymore. It's like this is the ambiguity range essentially. That means it turned its nose away, and so we are not seeing the radar anymore. So yeah, so they have scouted up to this area here, and we're also pretty far in already. So I think what we should do is we should check if this area in front of us has any submarines in it. So we'll go out like 60 nautical miles is fine. We will activate our submarine mission. We'll launch 2 helicopters, and yeah. So just as a note, they will stay very low. Let's hope no one sees us. Let's see. Also, we have to slow down our fleet, so that we would actually be able to hear the submarines, because right now it's like they're making way too much noise. There's our helicopters, and yeah, let them do their job. Oops. Okay, so something spotted us. That's bad. Let's get our helicopters back inside. But this means that we have had planes. Planes took off to go look for us. And I can't see any air contacts. That means we might have a submarine in the area. So we'll just... I never had this happen before. So let's bring the helicopters back, because they will probably not have a very good idea where exactly we are. But there will be planes coming with radars. Yeah, there they are. And they're coming right at us. Four nautical miles out. No, not the best. Not the best situation to be in. Yes, they have definitely seen us at this point. Okay, so we've been spotted. It's okay. We'll just activate our our sensors. That means now we're glowing like a Christmas tree, of course, and we will launch our own surveillance helicopters. And yeah, time for the air defense to show its worth. That was the first salvo of anti-ship missiles. Second salvo. So these are probably either Type 91s or Harpoons. And yeah, these will be taken out by our air defense pretty easily. So right now we're actually launching the Growlers against them. And there comes the next salvo. Let us also have one of these on station, just in case there are some submarines in front of us. And there comes the next round of P1s. It's fine, I'll be able to defeat them, or like defeat the missiles easily. Yep, and that should be it. You got more? No, it's just the empty plane. Okay. For now, we haven't seen any surface fleets. So what we're actually gonna do is we will get 2 of these Orlans out we will launch this one, and we'll launch this one. And we will have this one go this direction, and this one go this direction. And they have to... I'll just see what they can find. So let's speed it up. Also, fleet to full speed, please. Thank you. For now, doesn't seem to be a problem. Yeah, so this guy, I mean, technically he has bugged out, but he's still kind of doing a good job at... oops, that's the F2. He's still doing a good job at keeping an eye on us. So yeah, absolutely every ship of the Japanese Navy is gonna be coming after us. Oh, and there we are. Okay, all on. There you go. Okay, so we have detected a surface fleet. 3 ships coming roughly from here. So this may very well be one of the carrier fleets. 100 nautical miles out. Let's see if we can get an idea what this is. We'll have to go to low altitude to be able to see the ships. Until then, we can fly at high altitudes. Also, we can use our surveillance helicopter. But he's look, you're low on fuel. I need the other one. Is there still one in here? Yes, there is. You go there. Okay, let's see if we can find out anything about this fleet. Oops, there's another one, and it's right in our path. Yeah, so let's just take the direct route from here. 370 nautical miles. We're still not very close. Okay, so they are now 19 nautical miles out. Once they reach 80, they will shoot their harpoons. Also, this is like a fleet with 4 ships, so we can be almost certain that it will have like only the carrier fleets have that many. So we will have to. I mean, we cannot really run away from them. We are 20 knots full speed. These are like 25 and 25. So we have to go through them if we want to get there. And we also, if we turn around now, like they'll just catch up to us. So how are we going to handle this? So we are in range for the Sizzlers and for the Sunburns. We're not in range for the regular anti-ship missiles, the Switchblades. Okay, so what we're going to do is this fleet we will try to get with our supersonic missiles. So first of all, we'll launch our Sunburns from the Sovremenny and let them get to about here. Also, we have to call our helicopters back or they'll get shot down. Okay, missiles on the way. Oh damn, I'm stupid. I did this the wrong way around. Okay. Okay, let's see if they can land a hit. And Yeah, so my idea was to actually launch the Sizzlers first and then shoot the Sunburns after them, but well, a slight change of plans. Someone fatty fingered the control pad, and now it's the wrong missiles in the air. It happens. Don't worry about it. We're playing the Russian Navy after all. Okay, all of them go smack down. Yeah, let's go and shoot our Sizzlers. Swoop. Okay, Sizzler time. Let's go. There they go. So they will be moving at subsonic speeds up to their target, and then they will release their penetrator. Literally the same thing as the YJ-18. Really, really good weapon, at least in command. And there come the penetrators. And they're moving at 1,900 knots, almost Mach 3. We need some getting through here. If we can at least slow them down, then we are in a really bad spot. Oh no, okay. Yeah, that is bad. That is really bad. Okay, let's see. So we are going to get bombarded with harpoons in, yeah, pretty much right now, I guess. Any second now. Yes, and we got identification. It's the Ise. So we have a carrier, like a helicopter carrier here. Not a big one, but yeah, we'll have some helicopters to deal with in a moment. There come the harpoons. Oh. Okay. We might have a submarine somewhere here. We'll see. These could be submarine launched. So let's smack them down really quick. Oh crap, we had leakage. Okay. Neustrashnimy is hit. Do we still have something on here that we need? Yes, switchblades. Okay. So it's still going at 10. It's still going at 10 knots. It's not out of order. It's just damaged. Okay. It's fine. We'll have to keep them. We have to keep it in the fleet for the moment. Once it has stopped being useful, we will detach it. First of all, we have to deal with all the helicopters. So they'll be doing their dance for a while. We probably have to make a decision here. Do we shoot all of our remaining missiles at the... So these two, we could maybe take them out with just one salvo per ship, because they're not very good at defending themselves. Let's see. Oh damn, Neustrashnimy is falling behind. Come on, shoot them down. I don't want anyone getting hit by hellfires. That would be embarrassing. More anti-ship missiles. Okay, got one of them. And even more anti-ship missiles. How are we doing on the anti-air missile front? Still looking okay. So we can keep doing this for a while. Smack, one helicopter dead. Oh crap. The shooting hellfire so does. Oops. That's one of the corvette. No, that's the Sovremenny. Oops. Still going at full speed. Wah. Okay, that's one of the Karakurts. Got a hit. I mean, they're really small ships. One anti-ship missile will blow them to hell. This is another anti-ship missile. Come on. Oops. Okay, this is bad. Okay, it's probably time to... we won't get any better chance to launch our anti-ship missiles. So we will just fire the... Where's the Neustrashnimy? This one is empty. Okay, these can all still fire. Oh, screw it. Okay, these will get, like, if we're really lucky, we can maybe do a lot of damage with this. Stoiky and Boiky, you go after the top, like the top contacts. Rest of the fleet is going after these. Alright, all missiles out. Fire the missiles. There they go. So now we have officially expended all our missile capacity, like all our anti-ship missiles. This guy has to leave the fleet. And are you all going still full speed? Yes, go full speed. And you will also now get the permission to engage everything. So that means if they get in range for cannon fire, then they will use their cannons. Okay, let's see how if we can score some hits. I'll be arriving at the same time pretty much. Oops. Yeah. No. 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 Oh god. This is going great. Okay. These are already like behind a little bit. So I mean, we could try to take on this fleet separately. Do we still have something that can scout? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What is that? Anti-ship missiles from somewhere. Yeah, that's another corvette gone. This is going great so far. Okay, I guess we will have to launch one of these to get an idea where everything is. Radar's on. And max altitude. There they are. Okay. Yeah, so we'll just have to wait and see once they're in range if we can shoot them a little bit with our naval guns. We're still getting hounded by anti-ship missiles. So far, so good. Moodry is falling behind a little bit. Okay, and now they're starting to fire their SAMs at us. So these are not easy, like we basically can't intercept them. As you can see, they follow like a ballistic trajectory. They're up at like 30,000 feet here. And then they'll come raining down at us. There's some more of them. Whoa. Okay, we just lost our cruiser. Our destroyer, rather. You go out of the fleet, please. You too. Our fleet is getting a little bit small, but we're getting there. Come on. Just go as fast as you can. Blah. Yeah, we're getting destroyed here. Oh, look at that, it's just 2 of them left, so maybe we did hit something. I will see in the after battle report. But yeah, they're coming straight at us. These 2 just sank. Oh, rip, I guess. Moudry and Neustrashnimy is... I mean, they're still trying to get, like, to move, but... Oh, and they're already shooting at us. Can we shoot at them? Nope, not yet. Yeah, now we're gonna take damage. Whoa. This is the Boiki and the Steregushchiy. We still have these 2. Oh, well, we're getting. There we go. Now we're shooting back. And we have ourselves a real little gun battle here. And we're landing some hits. Come on. Oh, look at that. It's the 2. These are definitely from the Issei fleet. Out of ammo? Yeah, probably. Yeah, looks like we disabled them. Okay, this one we should have in the pocket. They are dead. Oh, and there's... this is the little escort fleet. Oh, damn. We'll have to shoot our way through another... Japanese fleet to get through this. Okay, this one is sinking. Whatever these 2 are doing. This fleet is at 5 knots now. Maybe we can just recombine them, to be honest. I mean, all of them are going super slow now. Let's see. Oops. Okay. That was a very annoying little helicopter strike. Okay, he is... Yeah, so the engines are dead. You have to go out of this fleet, mate. And you can maybe meet up with these 2. Let's see if we can make this work. There's more helicopters incoming. We probably have so this implies that there's a fleet here that we haven't even spotted yet. Yeah, this is like a pretty much This is a disaster. Come on. Okay, that one sunk. Helicopters. Okay, doesn't seem too bad. No operations. Yeah. RIP. And he's dead. Oh, automatic retargeting is a bitch. Are we gonna lose another one? Nope. Okay. They seem to be on the edge of their range. We really need to get in cannon range. He's going at a bristling like 1 knots. And there's more anti-ship missiles. Yeah, so I mean you can see the idea, right? I mean these are not super they're not super fast. They're like almost at Mach 1, but like subsonic. You just keep firing and firing and firing, and yeah, at some point things start to break, even if we can defend against them early on. And I mean, we had our nice supersonic missiles, and if you do this a few times, then I mean, most of the time you can destroy one of the fleets with supersonic anti-ship missiles, but yeah, this time it just so happened to not work. Yeah, there's the hit. Stoichi is sinking. 2 operational ships left. Can we get in range for some cannon fire here? Let's speed it up a little bit. Yeah, they're outrunning us. More ship missiles. Yeah, and that's it. So the Neustrashnimy is left. Cannot launch the helicopter. Well, it's basically just a matter of time now. The sharks are circling. Who will get the final hit? Well, it may just burn to death, to be honest. Well, it's still alive and kicking. Still has some anti-ship missiles. Oh. Submarine. Okay. And looks like we got it. Yeah, there's a whole fleet there. Well, that's gonna be game, I think. Let's see. Sorry. Okay. In the end, someone shot an anti-ship missile. And now it's like our last ship is going under. Okay, how close did we get? 340 nautical miles. So, yeah, not even close. Losses and expenditures. Of course, we lost everything, and the Japanese Maritime Self-Defense-Force lost 3 P1s, 9 Seahawks. This went down with the... so we did hit something. So that was the Ise. So the Ise, we couldn't see it on the radar, but we actually hit it. We apparently also, I mean, we killed this entire fleet, essentially. Minus the one that is still here somewhere, if I remember correctly. But yeah, so we killed that fleet. And one of the submarines, that was the one where, at the very end, which showed up like just briefly and got an anti-submarine missile shot at it. So yeah, 3 ships down, 1 submarine down, including 1 helicopter carrier. Yeah, not a great score. And we're back to the PowerPoint. So this is actually me after editing the video, and I thought I wanted to change the ending a little bit, because actually like the outro that I did originally was pretty pessimistic because, I mean, the scenario was pretty like one of the most elaborate ones that I've done so far. There are a lot of interesting things that can happen. We can actually shoot our way through through quite a couple of fleets and get pretty far along the route. And also there can be a lot of interesting things with submarine attacks and whatnot. Unfortunately, this case, we just got detected early for some reason. I still can't figure out why. And yeah, then we got a little bit of leakage through the air defense, and then everything just dissolved into chaos. But I think this is actually kind of fitting because from what I've seen, the real Battle of Tsushima also dissolved into chaos a little bit. But apart from that, maybe I was a little bit too negative when it comes to the outcome, because looking at the score at the end, we actually caught some pretty big fish here. And so I thought, why not just add up the tonnages of both fleets? Of course, these are only estimates, right? But if you go to the left side, we have our Baltic Fleet with all the, I think it is 10 ships in total, actually. And the total tonnage amounts to 28,000 tons, which we lost in its entirety. And we killed a Hyuga class helicopter destroyer, so a light carrier, which is 19,000 tons alone. And then one of the fairly modern Aegis destroyers, the Ashigara Atago class, 10,000 tons. And then one of the most modern guided missile destroyers, Asahi class, 6.8 thousand tons. And yeah, even if you account for inaccuracies, like we killed a lot more tonnage than what we actually lost. So maybe if you go purely by points, we actually have to give this one to the Russians. Yeah, interesting. But yeah, these modern anti-ship missiles can be pretty nasty. Okay, yeah, so I hope you found this scenario interesting. You want to play it for yourself, just send me a message. I can send you the files. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you next time.